Hi everyone, thanks for joining me with another Ready to Ride Pilates for Horse Rider session. And as always, if you are not a horse rider and you found yourself here, please stay. You will find these exercises just as beneficial, provided you are physically fit and well enough to do them. Today we are concentrating on improving the control of your spine, predominantly from base of your neck down to your pelvis, a little bit through your neck, but mostly this part of your body. This is essential for riders for obvious reasons, because this part of your body has to move with the horse. So let's get started on your side to start off with. Knees bent to wherever feels comfortable. If you have a headrest, then have your head to the front of the headrest. You want to have plenty of space for your head to go backwards. I sometimes find it easier without. Arms out in front, and you're taking your top hand up and out behind. Look at your hand if you can. I'm not looking at my hand so I can talk to you. Then hand to the ceiling and over, back down in front. So it's up and then over, back down. Looking at your hand means that you move all the way through your spine, including your neck, but it's important that your knees stay glued together and glued to your mat, because that helps to anchor your pelvis and make sure that your pelvis doesn't start to come to, and then obviously you lose the quality of the movement, you lose that focus on moving through your spine. Okay, so we're going to move on now to your shoulder bridge. You need to turn onto your back for your shoulder bridge. If you had a headrest for that first one, you definitely don't want to have one for this next exercise. And this is an exercise to do with extreme caution or not at all if you have osteoporosis. So for your shoulder bridge, you want to have your feet and knees hip width apart. Find that neutral, flat tummy position around your pelvis and engage your pelvic floor onto floor 3. Then you are going to roll your pelvis back so you flatten your back into your mat. Imprint your low back into your mat and then peel up one vertebra at a time until you reach the top. You want an approximately straight line from shoulders, hips to knees, and then make sure at the top you are relaxed enough to be able to breathe. And then as you come back down, focus on coming back down one vertebra at a time. Head for that imprint position with your low back and then to neutral. So pelvic floor, imprint and peel up. Pause at that top for a nice breath in and breath out. And then come back down one vertebra at a time, head for that imprint position, and then to the finish. We'll do one more. So imprint, roll up. And with this one, it can help to think about your spine as being like a string of pearls or a bicycle chain. Another breath in at the top and breathe out. Because that way, that analogy can help you to really get that vision of each level of your vertebrae moving in turn on the way up and on the way down. We're going to make it a little bit harder this time. So the next one you do, stay up at the top, and now you're going to move your pelvis. You're going to dip one side and then dip the other side. The key with this is that only one side is moving, so you're dropping one side. It's not that you're dropping one side and lifting the other, you're just dropping one side whilst the other side stays really still. Make sure you're still breathing. And also, if at all possible, try to remember to keep your pelvic floor onto floor 3. If you find you're getting a little bit crampy in your hamstrings, do bring your feet a little bit closer in. That's usually why. Your feet are too far away, that means you're going to get a bit crampy. A couple more of these ones. And then again, one vertebra at a time, come back down, head for your imprint position, and finish off. I'm going to move my feet back away again. Okay, we're going to make it a little bit harder again. Take your hands up so they're away from your mat and they can't assist you. And again, roll back. Heel up. Nice breath in again at the top. Breathe out before you come back down again. And what you will find as you take your arms away is that you can no longer use your arms to support you. So all that movement control comes through your tummy muscles, through your back muscles, and through your legs. You can't cheat, if you like, by using your arms to press down. I'm not going to make it any harder than this with the arms, but sometimes in these sessions we will do this exercise a little bit harder with the arms. One more like this. Okay, then arms back down. I'm going to finish off with one last test, and that is to do this with one leg. And this is really a test of your control, particularly of this part of your spine. So same setup, pelvic floor, roll back to your imprint and up. At the top, Change legs. Roll back down, head for your imprint and finish. Imprint, roll up. Change legs at the top. Roll back down, imprint. So you keep going, always changing your legs at the top. And if at all possible, try to remember to breathe at the top of the movement as well as between your reps. When you're doing your leg changes, try to watch as well that your feet and knees stay hip width apart. It's very easy to find that your feet and knees creep together, but you want them to stay hip width apart. Last change. Okay, lovely. Bring that leg back down again. Okay, we're now going to go and turn onto your other side. And we're going to do your open arms again, just to stretch you right out. Okay, so as before, if your head is on a headrest, have the headrest behind you. And then we're going to take that top hand up, out behind. Look at your hand if you can. And then over, back down, in front. Keeping those knees glued together, glued to your mat. Maximise that stretch. If you want to add in a bit of variety, you can take your top hand over your head. Sometimes it's nice just to mix the movement up. You can do a variety of different exercise versions of this one, but this is a perfectly good stretch just doing it this way. And it's a nice way of focusing your brain on keeping your pelvis fixed and moving the rest of your body. For an extra progression of that one, if you want to, pop onto your back, arms out to the side and have your feet and knees together. And then you can do an exercise called the double hip twist, where you roll your knees over to one side and look over the opposite side, up to the top, and then go the opposite way. And you can keep alternating. With this one, if you're particularly tight in one direction, you might want to hold that stretch. And it's perfectly safe if you are a little bit tight just to hold that position for several seconds if you want to, even longer, if it particularly stretches you out if you're tight one side. And it's quite common to be tight one side, particularly if you've got children and you carry them on one side, or if you do a job that is very one-sided and you always use your body in the same way. Okay, lovely. Right, we're going to finish off sitting up, and I'm going to spin around sideways so that you can have a little look at me from the side. We're going to do an exercise called the oblique roll-up. And to start off with, you want your feet and knees together. Have your hands resting gently on the front of your shins. Sit up as tall as you can, but keep nice and relaxed doing so. So feel that you're lengthening your spine upwards. And then you're going to move from your pelvis. So the movement should look a little bit like this. What you're trying to avoid is rolling back, so you're doing a kind of glorified sit-up. So the movement is much smaller, it comes from here. I have to admit, I find this one quite hard because I'm naturally a little bit round-shouldered. My shoulders really want to kick in and join in too, so I have to work really hard with this to make sure that I focus this movement through this part of my body. Then you're going to add in your arms, so it's arms up, and as you take that movement back, you bring the arm in, and the same the other way. So roll back. So I'm going to show you from the front now how this will look from the front. Okay, so your hands are up, and you roll back, arm out, arm out. So again, you're getting that little bit of rotation, so as well as it just being the rolling back through your spine, you're getting that little bit of rotation as well, so you're working your oblique abdominals. This is a brilliant one for riders, provided I was just getting a little bit carried away there, making it too big. Provided you keep that movement really small, this really targets that lumbar spine. That's the bit of your back that really moves with the horse. This is a great exercise to do. If you find it difficult to sit in this position with your hips, sit on a little cushion, it's absolutely fine. Do one more each way. Last one. Okay, Good job, lovely. We'll finish there. So this is another session really where you don't feel you have to do all these exercises in one go. It can be really good if you do get stiff. This is a great little session to run through in the morning or before you ride or before you go to bed. But these are all little exercises that you can do lying down, or most of them you can do sitting or standing as well in some modified form. So if you are stiff, these are really easy ones to do randomly throughout the day to try and keep your back nice and supple, but also work on improving your control through that part of your back, which is so important for your ability to move with the horse. I hope that has been really helpful. If you have any questions, please do contact me through any form of my social media. If you haven't already, please make sure that you subscribe to this channel, and I will see you again on the next session very soon. Take care and bye bye.